Hello everyone, it's QueenVLionz back to you with another video. This video pertains to an update regarding the twice impeached one-term grifter Trump, as he was supposed to give a deposition to New York's AG James's office regarding his business practices that misled assets. The deposition lasted for only 4 hours, in which Trump invoked his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. He pled the Fifth over 440 times. Again, the twice impeached one-term grifter pled the Fifth over 440 times. Now, this is the same man that stated, "If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth?" You will watch this brief clip and I will be back with more commentary.
If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment?
Fast-moving developments in the House probe into January 6th. Alex Jones told his podcast audience he pleaded the Fifth almost 100 times.
Have you seen what's going on in front of Congress? Fifth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Fifth Amendment.
Mr. Clark intends to invoke the Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination.
Another lawyer involved in this scheme to flip the election results, lawyer John Eastman, he too is going to take the Fifth.
Taking the Fifth, I think it's disgraceful.
The Trump Organization's accounting firm now says nearly a decade worth of financial statements can no longer be relied upon, and they cannot represent Donald Trump anymore.
His son, Eric Trump, invoked his right against self-incrimination in response to more than 500 questions.
Fifth Amendment.
President Trump and 2 of his children must answer questions under oath. That from a judge in New York today.
It's possible he will take the Fifth, take the Fifth, take the Fifth. He won't say anything.
This is like Watergate, only it's worse. The mob takes the Fifth.
Prior to his deposition, Trump weaponized his platform to attack AG James before his deposition. A day after, one of his followers took it upon himself to attacking the FBI building in Ohio. And you guessed it, he met his maker. This is one of his followers who was also at the Capitol building on 1/6 last year. Again, this man is a danger to society, and his words will cost your life. Y'all keep on playing. This is the same man that was given the option of having the FBI raid his house in plain clothes at 10 a.m. while he was in another state. The DOJ was more than patient because he had no business taking out those classified documents out of the White House in the first place. And the fact that the DOJ gave him more time to bring back the documents and he still refused. And he was the one that informed the public that the FBI, quote unquote, raided his estate when his attorneys were there. You will watch this brief press conference from AG Garland, and I will be back with more commentary.
Just now, the Justice Department has filed a motion in the Southern District of Florida to unseal a search warrant and property receipt relating to a court-approved search that the FBI conducted earlier this week. That search was of premises located in Florida belonging to the former president. The department did not make any public statements on the day of the search. The former president publicly confirmed the search that evening, as is his right. Copies of both the warrant and the FBI property receipt were provided on the day of the search to the former president's counsel, who was on site during the search. The search warrant was authorized by a federal court upon the required finding of probable cause. The property receipt is a document that federal law requires law enforcement agents to leave with the property owner. The department filed the motion to make public the warrant and receipt in light of the former president's public confirmation of the search, the surrounding circumstances, and the substantial public interest in this matter. Faithful adherence to the rule of law is the bedrock principle of the Justice Department and of our democracy. Upholding the rule of law means applying the law evenly, without fear or favor. Under my watch, that is precisely what the Justice Department is doing. All Americans are entitled to the even-handed application of the law, to due process of the law, and to the presumption of innocence. Much of our work is by necessity conducted out of the public eye. We do that to protect the constitutional rights of all Americans and to protect the integrity of our investigations. Federal law, long-standing department rules, and our ethical obligations prevent me from providing further details as to the basis of the search at this time. There are, however, certain points I want you to know. First, I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. Second, the department does not take such a decision lightly. Where possible, it is standard practice to seek less intrusive means as an alternative to a search and to narrowly scope any search that is undertaken. Third, let me address recent unfounded attacks on the professionalism of the FBI and Justice Department agents and prosecutors. I will not stand by silently when their integrity is unfairly attacked. The men and women of the FBI and the Justice Department are dedicated, patriotic public servants. Every day, they protect the American people from violent crime, terrorism, and other threats to their safety while safeguarding our civil rights.
This man had critical information that he gathered from the White House and brought to his resort, in which persons across the world came to his resort, and at any point he could have, or he did, gave those information to our enemies. This is espionage 101. And of course, the guardians of Putin fell into line by calling for defunding of the FBI. This is the guardians of Putin that quote unquote claim law and order when all they cause is chaos, toxicity, loss of life, and denying the rights of their fellow Americans. America, this is not the time to sleep. This is the time to wake up. The guardians of Putin do not care about us. All they care about is them and them alone. And I promise you, if you think that your vote does not matter, think again. Why do you think they are going so hard against the American people? They are using their privilege as a weapon to show us that they don't care about us. And if you think for a second that they will care about you, you better think again. 1/6 was a national security breach in which entities within our government conspired to taking down our government. And this is why he was impeached for the second time. The first time, the guardians of Putin were silent, including your faves, Liz Cheney and Adam Kissinger. It is time that we call out all guardians of Putin. They are not allies. They are participants and continued participants in the denial of our progress moving forward. America, it is time for us to wake up. Listen closely. The guardians of Putin do not care about us. I do not care if they are on the 1/6 committee. They do not care. And persons with power on the local, state, and federal levels need to be investigated and need to be held accountable so they cannot hold another office within these United States. It is our responsibility to seek the truth and not allow the guardians of Putin to continue chaos, disinformation, misinformation for personal gain and or profit. Be safe out there, and I will see you in the next video.